lemon and ginger tea all set. Let's get writing. So here are my morning questions in Kitty. So we got, what's the first creative thought that comes to your mind today, especially considering your recent focus on tightening up the designs and managing project tangents? And I've got 5 of these questions to answer here, and I've put them into here so I can double tap my command key. And now when I talk, it'll read this in here so I can answer my questions. My first creative thought today is that, and so on and so forth. So fourth. So this is Kitty, my AI, which normally works in the terminal, but just for the morning questions, I've added the questions into the browser so I can answer it there, which is the first step to moving the rest of the questions, but maybe even a multi-user Kitty. And I'm doing this way because you have to be able to save the answers onto the server. And for that, I need to run it on a web page and things, because you can't anyway. That's by the by. So this is my first foray into that, and it's really nice being able to speak out my answers. I can just like read the question and then talk. As you know, I like talking. So very mild update, but I thought I'd let you in on that. I'm still working on Kitty and adding these adjustments to them. So this next bit is incredibly nerdy. I've just changed the settings on this camera from recording in PAL to recording in NTSC, which is the American system, I think. And that's because PAL records at 25 frames per second and NTSC allows me to record at 24 frames per second, which is the same frames per second that my camera records at. To make the edit slightly easier, different, not quite sure. So I don't know if changing that setting is going to change anything else in the camera. What I do know is you're supposed to set your shutter speed to be 1/, double the frame rate, and that was 25, so the shutter speed is 1/50. It's now supposed to be 1/48, but this doesn't have the setting for that, which is why I was in PAL before. That's just too much detail and probably not relevant, but it's a note here for me, for when I come to edit this video, to notice if there's any significant difference or if the rest of the week, now from Tuesday onwards, is trash. So let's find out if that's true. I'm going to answer these questions now properly and then get on with my day, which is finalizing some designs for the work that I'm doing at the moment. There's supposed to be a bunch of designs, and I've spent the past few weeks writing the tools. So it kind of comes in 2 stages. The first stage is writing tools to create things. Now I actually have to use those tools to create the final thing. So that's what I'm about to do. So I'm going to get on. I'll see you later. You probably can't see that, can you? It's 2:30 in the morning, nearly 2:30 in the morning. So yesterday afternoon I started getting a huge headache, not the cluster headache that I sometimes get, just over the other side. I have no idea why. I don't normally get a headache over there, but that's by the by. It just kept getting worse, and I went to bed last night hoping it would sort itself out, but I woke up just after 1 o'clock or something and haven't been able to get back to sleep. So yeah, I've had about 3 hours sleep and the headache is still there and getting worse. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing anything today. I guess I'll find out if there's anything more on today's week notes. But yeah, pretty horrible. So I'm going to take it nice and easy and we'll see how it goes. Alright, otherwise I will see you tomorrow, I guess. Well, good morning. I hope you're doing well. I'm feeling a little rough, to be honest. I still got this a little bit of a headache on. It's not one of the cluster headaches, but it's just been hanging around for a couple of days now. And it was really rough yesterday. I slept, had a bit of a lie-in. It's later today. So yeah, all that's going on. Speaking of which, I have an appointment at the neurologist that's just come through for next month. I think it's the 2nd week of November, can't remember, but that's coming up soon. So that's in response to the MRI scan I had for the cluster headaches. Don't know what it's about, just a chit chat, I hope. Anyway, I'm heading in now to try to catch up with some of the work that I missed out on yesterday. What I'm doing is I'm trying to put together a series of pen plots, and I've got some designs that I'm going to put forwards as suggestions, but I was hoping to have more done by today. So I'm going to go in now and knock a few more of those off. So I'll see you in a moment. One, two. I don't even have a microphone connected at the moment, so the sound of this is probably terrible. I'm still testing settings on the camera. You'd think I'd be over this by now, but I'm trying SLOG again with a different setting to get the exposure right. But who knows, it's the end of the day, the sun's coming in. I've just taken some footage of some pen plots that I'm doing. Again, I can't show you, and I wanted to try with this camera, new camera settings, and my other camera is set to the original camera settings as a backup in case I mess this up. But I want to try this so I can make sure that my skin tones are right, because honestly, the past few months in these Weeknotes videos, it's been a bit all over the place as I'm trying to dial it in. And I really do want to dial it in again before I do all the tutorials, so it's not messed up. Anyway, end of day report. My head's feeling alright-ish. I think it's eye strain from looking at the monitor. I need to go back to the opticians because they did say that once I started wearing glasses, as I just turned 50 or 52, that I'm... Anyway, you don't need to know that. So I'm off to the opticians again soon. Right, okay, end of day, lovely sunlight. Let's finish. Alright.
This arrived while I was out yesterday. I think it's a new pen plotter, and I've got to grab it and take it to the new studio, which is going to be interesting because, you know, it's actually heavy as well. Okay, so I guess that ice is going to slow me down. Well, that's that all dropped off in the studio. God, that's bright. And I will head back home again now, and I'll see you in a second once I've walked into the studio properly. Well, good morning. I'm on into the studio the proper way, on foot, not by car, in the dark and the cold. It's a little bit frosty. Well, you've seen that, haven't you? And yeah, I'm wondering what to do with that iDraw machine. How that came about is I wanted to try the iDraw with the pen height video stuff that I've been doing, and you can't with code, so I asked them about it, and they said, well, we're coming out with a new machine soon, so that'll do it. And then the machine, the iDraw 3 came out, and I asked them again, and they said, oh, we want to make a couple of revisions to it. And then they dropped me an email to say, hey, we've changed the iDraw version 3, there's a second revision. And I said, great, can you send me one? Because I'm a YouTuber, I get to do that. And they sent me one, but now I want to test it out with the brush, see if I can get one of those spirals to go up and down. And then that's basically my goal with that. And also have a handy machine with a base that I can lug around to shows and things like that. But I don't know. But I think I'll wait until next week before I unbox that and try it all. Right, my hands are getting cold because I left my gloves at the studio like an idiot.
Well, I'm back in the studio. It's cold. I've got my fleece on. I think I can see my breath, but it's not showing up on the camera. I'm still... And it's really noisy outside because they're doing... Anyway, I'm still using the new setting on the camera. This may look like trash. I won't know until I edit it, which I'm about to do in a moment because it's 8 o'clock and I've got 3 hours before I start work properly. Let me rephrase that. I've got 3 hours before I start work. I'm doing stuff properly now, so I'm going to get most of the week notes done now. This video, this is turning into a week notes video just about me recording week notes. I have some news. So the studio sale, I think, is happening. There's been some rumblings. They say all the questions have been answered. They're looking for a completion date, so I think that's going to happen. So I'm quite pleased about that. I'm saying that because I'm thinking about getting a new camera just to make my life easier. And I've been thinking about that for 6 months, and I've been waiting for this studio to happen so I can do that. So I'm quite pleased. Anyway, I'm going to get on. I will chat to you in a little bit. I want to drop in another video before this is all done, but I'm going to get the bulk of it done now. If I look a horrible shade, I can only apologize. It means I haven't figured out how to do this properly. All right, let's go. All right, I'm back. Just a quick one. Normally when I'm doing designs, I have all these settings down on the right-hand side, which is great. And then I keep flitting through them and the designs change. When I save the SVG, I used to put all these settings into the file name, but that was getting too long. So now when I save them, if I go over to a file here, This is the normal SVG stuff, and then over in the metadata, I'm putting all the settings down in here, so I know what settings we use to create this SVG file. The next plan is being able to drop the SVG file into here, and then setting all these settings from it. And finally, also including a random seed, the seed used to generate the design in there as well, so I can drop the whole file in and it will load all the settings and then use the same seed again should I ever need to recreate the same design or adjust it slightly. So that's what I'm going to do in just a second, but I thought I'd show you that because that's what I'm working on, and then also to wish you a very good weekend. I've seen the footage from this now and I think it's okay, so we're going to be okay. Right, that's it. I love you all. Bye.